Well, after Scotland's heartbreak yesterday, Italy and Croatia looking to avoid the same fate as they go head-to-head tonight. And look who's here to preview this one. Our very own Dougie. Very good morning to you, Dougie. Right, OK. Italy and Croatia tonight. What's the situation going into this game? And I wonder, out of those two, who is under the most pressure at the moment?
Well, the second part of the question is a little bit difficult to answer. I think both are under a huge amount of pressure. I mean, Italy had that really disappointing defeat to Spain last time out. They only got one shot on target in that game. Croatia conceded a 95th minute equaliser against Albania. If we work on the assumption that Spain beat Albania, it really just seems like Italy have to better Albania's results. So if they get a point, they go through in second. If they get a win, they obviously go through in second. Croatia need to win. It's not been a brilliant tournament for either side so far, so both really need a result in this one tonight.
Let's just focus on Italy for a moment. Far from their best against Spain. What do you think went wrong for them?
It was almost like a lack of belief. I think we expected Italy to have a little bit more of the ball, having seen Spain in their opening game against Croatia have less possession for the first time in a Euros game since the Euro 2008 final, but they really just didn't turn up whatsoever. Spalletti tried to make a number of changes at half-time. He took off Jorginho, he took off Fratesi, Chiesa, who I think we'll probably come on to, he came off very early in that game as well, but they just weren't effective in any facet of the game. They really struggled to contain Nico Williams in particular, Giovanni Di Lorenzo, who's a really experienced player, Napoli captain when they won the league 2 years ago, was really struggling to contain him. And it just felt like nothing went right on the night. And if it wasn't for Donnarumma making 8 saves, it could have been a far heavier scoreline.
Federico Chiesa coming in for a fair amount of criticism after his performance. Justified for you? And if we're talking about Spalletti and changes, is he one that could be made? Do you see any other changes to the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think it was probably justified, to be honest. As I said, he came off around 64 minutes for Matteo Zaccagni, who's had an interesting season at Lazio, not been at his personal best either. But Chiesa, since Euro 2020, which of course took place in 2021, he's missed over 80 games with injury for Juventus. He's not been at his sharpest for a club side, which is why it was quite surprising to see him play so well against Albania in the first game, but he was outclassed here. Jorginho came off very early, but I'd be surprised if he didn't start in this one. The big change could be up front with Scamacca, who wasn't at his best either, being potentially replaced by Retegui, who was an Argentinian youth international who's now qualified to play for Italy and scored 8 goals for Genoa last term. He was the first player since 1968 to score in his first 2 games for Italy. So he comes in with a little bit of confidence. It wasn't Scamacca's best, it wasn't Chiesa's best, but Spalletti needs one of them to, or someone in this side, to really grab this game by the scruff of the neck.
What about Croatia then? Not at their best either. What's Dalic's side lacking, would you say? I
think it's sadly just got a little bit, it's maybe one tournament too many for a lot of those players. I think 10 are over the age of 29, 6 over the age of 30. Luka Modric hasn't been very effective so far. Marcelo Brozovic, unlike N'Golo Kante, for example, showing maybe the effects of playing in Saudi Arabia, not the most intense league. He struggled to get to his best as well. They lack a little bit of dynamism up front. Their wing play is a little bit predictable, but they have the prospect of potentially exiting a major tournament without winning a game for the first time since 2006. So Dalic, who's been in charge since 2017, will be absolutely desperate to end this or keep this campaign going and not end it on a sour note.
Dougie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wondrous, as always.